I'm going to try to make a tileable pattern. This has been tiled pretty well. You can see the repetition, but it doesn't have like lines, that may give it away. It's fairly homogeneous. This is, I don't think I showed in the previous brick video. This is the final version I ended up with. Again, if you're making a giant wall of brick, you have a design problem. Like, where are the windows? You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe you want to make a prison wall. Well, then get a bigger sample of brick. That will help. But if this was a brick floor, you would never notice because you only see a bit of it at a time unless you're flying over it. And if it was a brick wall and it had windows in it, we'd stagger the windows so that we'd have a window that kind of came in here, and then over here it would cover up a different part of the pattern. But this is pretty good for just working at it myself. I'm very pleased with this one, but I didn't record somehow the the process. I'm going to keep an eye on this one to make sure that it records. So I'll try to reproduce this, but I won't get exactly this kind of thing. Again, if this was a stone floor, it'd be absolutely perfect. If it's a stone wall, put an arch in here somewhere. Just mess it up a bit so that we're not seeing giant stone walls. But I guess if you're making a fortress, get yourself a larger sample size than I have, which is here. Actually, I'll just do this. I'll just open it. I forget what it's called. Yeah. So, I mean, I just have a tiny sample size, and so I can get to here. I don't know if I can in this video. We'll see. It is a little tough, but I would say it has some advantages over brick. All right. So let's look at the um, image size. Excuse me, the canvas size. So the canvas size is the size of the canvas you can draw on, and the image size is the size of the image you're drawing. And I want to make the canvas a little bit bigger, um, so I'm going to use the canvas size, not the image size in this case. And instead of 4,000, I'm going to make it 4,096. I am going to make this one rectangular to see how that works, and then the height I'll make it 2048. And actually, it's worth canceling this. It's worth noting that with this locked, I will lose all the extra information when I make the canvas size smaller, so I have to unlock it first. Let's do that again then. Image, canvas size, 4096 and 2048. And say OK. So I've made the canvas size, you can see there's more at the ends, and if I click the move tool, you can see I can move this. I haven't lost that data. That's the stuff I would lose if I'd have this locked when I made the canvas change. I can just pull this out a bit here and here. And I've already lost that ground, but I could start with this ground if I wanted to, because the same tools are involved. And in fact, it's not not terrible because, well, let's just see here. I want some of the mortar on this edge, and that's some mortar on this edge. And I want some mortar on at least one of these sides. I found that this triangular piece works well, so don't want to get rid of it necessarily. If I want to stretch this rather than scale it all together, I can hold down Shift and just stretch out just the side I want. So now I have some mortar down here and some mortar here. Maybe this would be better. So I will let this scale a bit. Doesn't line up, actually. I thought maybe this went through, but it doesn't. This is good. So I'll line up this mortar, And then I'll have some mortar down here and some mortar up here. Actually, this is a problem because it lines up like that, and then it would join here when I wrap, and I don't want mortar going all the way across. So how about this? I'm also getting fewer and fewer samples. Let's see here. The more I zoom in on this image, the fewer stones I have to work with. I can zoom in some though. Okay, yeah, I like this. I'm going to stretch a bit. There we go. So I have mortar that comes. Oh no, that's too close to a join. If I have mortar that goes all the way like this and then all the way like this, then I end up with a whole line of mortar, and that will look unnatural. With brick, it looks natural, and in this case, not, right? So I'm going to go with mortar from. Oh, that's almost an unbroken line of mortar there. Uh, okay. So I've got some. I've got mortar here, some mortar on the edge. I didn't want to make all the stones at the bottom edge too small, like short like that. And having a short one makes certain sense. I got some mortar on this edge. I think that looks all right. I got some mortar on this edge and some on this edge, and I can use those on both sides. I got some on this edge, but not down here. And they're not connecting all the way across the image. That's an issue. Okay, I think that'll work. I'm going to go ahead and crop it. And then I'll wrap it. I don't have to try tiling it. I know it won't tile well. I'm going to wrap it, which is with this layer selected, filter, other, offset. And okay, so there's my horizontal. So if I move this vertically, I'll push that towards the middle. And here's my vertical. So I move this horizontally and push that towards the middle. It's just, I'm putting it in the middle mostly because it's easy to work with in the middle of the image, right? So there's my vertical and horizontal places of interest. I have the stain here I have to get rid of, and I maybe just start with that stain. I'm going to use my clone stamp tool and come here to the stain, and I can get a sample here and kind of just paint in that stain. Again, this is really going to be important here, not so much with the brick as it was with the brick, but I need to do a little bit of sampling and a little bit of painting and a little bit of sampling and a little bit of painting. And something I can do too is I can change the opacity of the paintbrush. Not for this though. I'll just keep working with this. Because if I sample and paint in great big swaths, I have other problems of repetition. Yeah. I'll just get a little bit from here. Paint out that stain on the mortar. I'll get some from here and paint out this stain. So once I get the stain out, that will be one issue solved. I want to be real careful not to go down here to the edge, because that edge is wrapped around. the pixels right here match the pixels up there. But I can get rid of some of the stain here. And if I have to, I could probably get in there and do some real detailed work to get rid of that stain. But I don't think that stain's going to be an issue now. I like this mortar matching up with that mortar so closely, and I could just maybe bring this down and then paint this whole brick in. I'll get some of this because I'm really getting repetition there. There we go. And if I get something from maybe over here, paint in this part, and maybe if I can get a corner of here, nice corner. Come on. This corner. There we go. We got a nice kind of sharp corner. Then I can paint this stone in. And it doesn't have to be, I don't have to worry about painting it all in because there's a mottled texture there and a mottled pigment there. I can extend this one out now just a bit so that it fills in the square a bit more nicely. And I don't know what's going on here actually. Maybe I've done myself a disservice here, but I'm going to get a sharp edge here, and I'm going to just imagine that there's a stone in there. It's a small one, and I don't want to get to the edge either of this the right hand edge. So I'm not sure what's going to happen over here, but we'll see. I can do the same thing here, I think. I'll get a little bit of this and paint it in here. And grab this mortar, just extend it across there, grab some of the stone. So I mean, there are stones in, small, short stones here. Let's get there we go. That's a nice border for this. Nice and sharp. And see if I can't get a right hand corner. This is a nice one. I can change the size of my brush with the square brackets. It'd be nice to make, right now I'm using mortar on these edges. It'd be nice to not have mortar go all the way to the top, but, because then again I have a line of mortar throughout my stuff. So here, this can be all one stone. It's a little bit weirdly shaped, but so are many of these stones. And this can be all one stone here. In fact, maybe I move this mortar over. And make this stone come across like this. I need that corner back. I need a sharp corner. again. There we go. Yeah, that's not terrible. So make this stone go across the divide, the seam, which is, if you recall, is right through here. Yeah. And maybe we can make this kind of happen. I'm being very careful not to paint on that edge. And maybe we can get some more over here, and yeah. Damn it. Huh. I meant to sample, I went to paint. Okay. All right. Again, did that. Sample, sample, and then paint. Something's vague. Something vague is happening right here. This actually is going to be problematic. I can see. I did it. Maybe I can fix it. I'll just get this and paint it in right there. Is that too stupid? Sharp edge. Maybe that'll be believable. I'm trying to make this match that by hand, which is foolish. But there's another trick I can show you. So we do have a kind of bit here where it's all kind of lined up. Well, let's try the trick. So I'm going to save this. You can see that I've done the tiled stone pattern twice now, and both times somehow the recording stopped or something. So I'm watching it to make sure that it's not stopped. Okay, so I think saving this image is what stopped the recording before. So I think I can combine these two recordings into one. I think so. So this is good, I hope. Anyway, now I know what stopped the recording. So its image, we want to wrap it. So this is going to be filter, other, offset. And looks pretty good. I'm just looking for seams. Looks like maybe this is, yeah, maybe this is a little bit unbelievable. Maybe there's something going on right here. So that's my vertical seam, and maybe this is my horizontal seam. So I think I'm going to say okay to this and just do a little fix up. Less than I thought I'd have to do. So that takes care of a bit, actually. And yeah, right through here. Yeah, you know, might be easiest to just make this one big block, huh? So you can see again that I am just doing little dabs of paint. I'm sampling and painting and sampling and painting, and this is the work method that is advised for this tool, because you get more variety and less problematic. I want a sharper. There you go. Try this one last time. Okay, and then something has to happen here. I think we can just extend these together. There you go. Nice and sharp. I can maybe make this all one stone. I can change the flow of the opacity or the flow and get textures from other stones and apply them as a kind of overlay, and that gives you a lot more variety than just cloning stones. It gives you a real sense of reality. I need to fix that, but am I done? Am I done here? Is this okay? I'll get this, and I need to bring my opacity back up, and there we go. Not bad. Maybe make all this just one big stone, huh? Again, play with my opacity so I'm not cloning another stone. I'm adding textures from different stones to this one stone. Huh? This looks believable to me. Let's fold it in again. Filter. Other. Offset. I'm just randomly tweaking these to see if I suddenly see lines. I'm not sure I really believe in this joint here, but the proof is in making a pattern. Define pattern. Oh, give it a name. Apply the pattern. It'll be the furthest right and to the bottom, so just make sure you're getting the most recent one. And we have to say, I don't know, 40? Yeah, not bad. 20? Something about this thing. Is that a big stone I created? Maybe I should break it up. Something about this and that together. These three. Yeah, these two big ones are side by side. Maybe I need to break that one up. You don't have to watch all of this video, just like the other one. Yeah, I need to break this stone up a bit. You don't have to watch all this whole video, but if it's helping you, then definitely do. I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna make a. I'm just gonna divide this stone in half, not exactly in half, because that also would be, I think, kind of dumb. But yeah, I have this big stone and this big stone next to it, and dividing these up may be the best thing I can do. It'd be nice to have a left-hand sided sharp edge. Maybe I can get a corner here. And I think I need to make my brush smaller. And maybe I break up, maybe I darken this. I don't know if I've covered this in this video. I can dodge and burn. So the burn tool is either, I think it looks like this to begin with, which is dodge, which lightens things, and this darkens things. Just to make these two stones not look like they're the same stone, which they are, or I don't know. I created this big stone, and that was a problem for me. I can dodge, and I can burn and then dodge, lighten stuff up. I have a exposure here I can fool around with too. So that doesn't look like too much like the same thing, but maybe I should also break this up. And I've got plenty of choices there for sampling. Let's get this and break it up. Oops. And then I can do something with this as well. Maybe I'll actually lighten one of these, which is dodge. Although brighter stones do tend to stand out, so maybe I'll burn instead. The brighter stones do seem to really kind of pop. Maybe I'll burn this a bit. Maybe I'll burn this a bit. I don't want to get to the edge here, but I can just burn a little corner, and it gives it a variety as well. Again, staying away from the edges because that's where my pixels match. Let's try one more time. So it's filter. Make sure I've got the layer selected. Filter, oops, other, offset. Not bad. Looks pretty good to me. Let's do the thing where I make it a pattern. And then I fill a layer with that pattern. This will now be a new level of this stuff. And what did I have before? Like, so 50? Yeah. So 50, 70, you know, is almost full size. 50 is basically 4 of those, I think. Here's 20, and as you can see, pattern forming. But again, if you're making a giant wall of stone, you should get a larger collection of stones, right? And you can, I think you can see how you could take pictures of different stone walls around campus that are in this style and combine them into one big source stone wall. I mean, sample that you could then, I mean, because we can really fudge this stuff with the clone stamp tool and whatnot. I do see right through here kind of brighter streak. And here I think is where my seam was. I think it is kind of visible. But anyway, the thing is you keep working on it is what you do. And maybe you get something that looks eventually as good as that. I think that's pretty good. So that's the end of this.